Gasol kicks it out to Odom. Odom throws it ahead. We're going to be back. The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles. I'm going to get another superstar next. Breaking news, Tommy.
And then the next year, we're going to be back.
Hey guys, welcome to the Late Night Lake Show podcast. It is your host, Ricky and Danny. All right, you win. Portion of Laker Nation that was ready to accept Dwight back. You guys got it. You got your wish. D39 is back for his redemption tour. Revisionist history. You know, we're going to look back at this and everything. The Dwight Howard era is going to be great. Anyways, thanks for hopping in with us, guys. The Lakers summer has not been as dog days as we thought it would be. Our team has clearly made headlines the last, 90 years, but specifically these last couple of weeks. We lost Boogie due to injury, and it seems like some other unfortunate situations that is going on in his life. Does not seem like he will be with the Lakers. Obviously not for the season due to injury, but we're not sure what the future holds for him with the team or the league going forward. We're not really going to talk about all that. Last episode just got a little bit depressing to start, but we're going to focus on the newest Lakers center. Well, new again, I guess. This is like a pre-owned car that you owned, that you hated, and then you brought back, and now it's going to be better. Anyways, obviously, Danny is here with us today. Danny, what's going on, man?
Ricky, my man. Always good to hear from you. Always good to be with the Late Night Lake Show again with another episode. But it's that time of year when it's like, fantasy football rolling around, football this, football that. I'm watching Hard Knocks. And then you hear some news about the Lakers, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Basketball is everything, right?
True. I mean, me and Danny just had a fantasy draft together for EC Sports, for our sports work we do over there. I'm not too sure what the hell happened in that fantasy draft. We can get into all that later because there's some shit that needs to be talked about, decisions that needs to be made. Who takes Patrick Mahomes second overall in any circumstance in this world?
I don't know. But who signs Dwight Howard to the Lakers when you could have had Joakim Noah? Anyway, dive in, Ricky. Let's get that going.
Yeah. Let's get it. If you guys don't already know, go talk to your smart speakers. Tell your smart speakers to play Late Night Lake Show. We just want to be heard. Spread the word. Let people know how you like us. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us any review, to be honest with you, on any of our platforms that you're listening to us on. We want to hear back from you guys. Like we said, we are picking up. We are fine-tuning what the show is going to look and sound like as we go into the 2019-2020 season with D39 and company on our Los Angeles Lakers. So we got some things to do, and we want to make sure that we're doing the stuff that you guys are rocking with. So follow Danny, _Dan. Follow me, Mr. Ricky Spanish. But without further ado, man, there was a few people, Danny, that actually hopped into my mentions when I had let off a couple of my firestorms about Dwight Howard and how he will never, ever be a Laker again. And they were like, how can you, if you're a real Laker fan, you'll be able to forgive, and you don't have to forget. Yeah, he was on some whole stuff earlier, but he's the best that we got right now. I was like, I don't care. I do not care. Maybe I let too much of my personality dip into what might be best for the Lakers, but I guess that's why they call us fans, short for fanatic. But I'm just not about people that you have a bad experience with. It's okay to walk away and never come back. But anyways, he came back. Dwight Howard is a Laker. When it was announced on Instagram, Dwight Howard commented of a picture of him in a 39 Lakers uniform, all capital letters, redemption. Everyone saw that. So it seems like he is focused. He said so himself. He's focused and ready for this season and to help the Lakers in any way possible. Ooh, inspiring, right? Danny, you tell me, man, because I want to base my reaction going forward, because clearly my reaction could be a little wrong and not coinciding what Lord Palinka and company are thinking up there in El Segundo. So, Danny, you tell me, why did the Lakers sign Dwight Howard?
Well, think about it. He is in LA, the media capital, the clout capital. I think they just did it for the clout. But in reality, I think the reason why they cite Dwight Howard is because they look at a scarce market. They look at a guy who has somewhat of continuity and he's familiar with the area, I guess. But Dwight Howard, I'm actually looking at the numbers right now and diving deep into it. It's like a misconception. Yeah, he has all these off-court, like, weird issues, and he's got, the whole, when you were talking about last time, he had the glute surgery, he had this whole misconception, he was texting, some people. I don't want to get into that, but he is a quote-unquote distraction. But when he's actually on the court, out of his 14-year career, he played 1,035 games. So 1,035 games he's played. He started 1,034. So there's only been one game where he's came off the bench. He's a proven starter in the league, clearly. And when you look into the numbers, I think the Lakers kind of fell in love with what he can do coming off a down season and what he can do filling in the role of his team. Obviously, he's on the borderline to start compared to JaVale McGee. So you're either going to have a battle in preseason. It's going to be McGee starting. It's going to be Dwight Howard. But if you look at it, his worst rebounding year was last year at 9.2 rebounds. Granted, he only played 9 games for the Washington Wizards. But the season before, when he played for the Charlotte Hornets, he was at 12.5 rebounds. His career average is 17 and 12. And Laker fans, I just hate to break it to you because I was one of them too. I did not like Dwight Howard back in 2012, 2013. But he did put up his career number averages of 17 and 12.5 rebounds. And he actually led the league in rebounding that year with a bad back. So I think the Lakers just fell in love with what he can do and what he can bring. And if it's going to be a come around and like a whole redemption type season, I mean, I saw the videos of the gym. He slimmed down a lot, so he's not as bulky. And I saw him try to shoot outside jumpers. That's not his game. We all know it's not his game. But if he could show a little bit of anything, that's fine. I think the Lakers brought him on so he can, bring some kind of veteran continuity, bring some kind of togetherness, bring some kind of, hey, I'm here and I'm serious. When you compare Dwight Howard, it's like, if I were to work somewhere and I came in all hot and, ready to go, like, for that first year, and I really didn't like the job. So I said, I can do better. I can leave and do better. So then I leave. And then I'm not doing what I should be doing. And then I come back saying, hey, guys, I'm ready to come back and I'm mentally prepared for this. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like, okay, we'll give this guy another shot. So that's what the Lakers are probably thinking. And especially with no hard noses, Kobe, they're pushing these buttons. I don't know how LeBron's going to bring him in and welcome him in and do all of that. But you know how LeBron is. He's more of a togetherness guy, and I'm going to try to encourage you with words of enlightenment instead of the Kobe Bryant style of leadership, which some of his previous teammates, such as Jordan Clarkson, brought on. Is Kobe's going to be on your ass. And when Kobe's on your ass, he's not going to ease up until you prove him wrong. And then when you do, he's going to finally be like, you know what? You have my respect. So it's different styles of leadership. I think Dwight Howard could be somewhat of a factor this year. So I don't know. It's kind of confusing to me at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really argue with being confused. I think that the Lakers looked around at what their options were for center. We talked about Joakim Noah. We talked about Marcin Gortat. I mean, we talked about a lot of options. One player we did not talk about that apparently should have been looked at by the Lakers was Spencer Hawes, but that is the opinion of one person, and really
whoever said that, please reevaluate everything you do relating basketball. I don't know who brought that up. I don't know why you bring up Spencer Hawes in that situation. The man's been not a bust, but lived up to no types of expectations since day one. So that's my take on that.
We're not going to get into Bleacher Report personnel and all that good stuff, but
one more thing about Dwight Howard, guys. Again, worst rebounding year was last year, and he played 9 games, and he still averaged almost 10 rebounds a game. I just want people to realize that it's the fact that he is a distraction that people are getting thrown off by. The man's skill, he's never been able to back you down and hit you with like a drop step and all this footwork. But he's always been a freak. He's always been in shape, and he's always been able to finish around the rim and do whatever he can to clean up glass. So that's my take on it.
That's fair. Dwight has been a productive player when healthy, right? As you mentioned, his worst rebounding of his career was last year. and he averaged 9.2 a game. You know, that's something. He did that in 25 minutes. You know, granted, it was also one of his lowest productive years for points at 12.8. But to be honest, if you could get that from Dwight Howard, Dwight can get you 10 and 10 in, I don't know, 17
minutes.
to 22 minutes, right?
I'd be actually really happy.
And to be honest, just shut the fuck up, right? I think we'd be all right. We would be complicit, compliant, whatever word you want to use, okay with it. I'm looking at these Instagram videos, right, of Dwight training and watching him take a step back jumper, taking, pick and pop threes. My interpretation of why the Lakers were to bring in Dwight Howard is so that Anthony Davis doesn't have to play center. I'm sorry. I think we already have that spot filled with a pick and pop big that steps outside and can hit a jumper or a step back jumper at that. Dwight, I'm not asking you to be Anthony Davis. I'm asking you to complement Anthony Davis now at this point. So I'm just going to start there as far as day one of Dwight Howard Lakers redemption tour. I'm not too thrilled about step back threes, pick and pop three training videos. Again, I'm Mr. Take everything you see in the summer for a grain of salt. You usually don't see that out of big men during the year. I just really start to get a little PTSD from the 2012, 2013 Dwight Howard that would take that shot and Mike D'Antoni would have to take him out. Right? It's cool. It's all right. I'm approaching this, Danny. I think I'm doing well, not bashing on Dwight right now. I'm trying to figure out where he fits in our Lakers puzzle piece. Just please, no more videos of step back threes and stuff like that. I think things is good right now. When we come back, Late Night Lake Show, let's take a step back into time, Danny. Let's revisit that trade that brought Dwight Howard to the Lakers in the first place in the summer of 2012. I want to look at that because you have a couple of comments, a couple of feelings about one Andrew Bynum during that time too. So I just want to take a step back and take a look at what was then and what is now with Dwight Howard and the Lakers. Late Night Lake Show. We'll be right back. You ever been listening to the Late Night Lake Show and you thought to yourself, man, I love me some Ricky and Danny. This podcast is the truth. I think I could do a podcast of my own. Talk about some of my favorite topics, like cat litter and stuff like that. Well, that was a bad example, but if you have something to talk about, do it on Anchor. It's your one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing your podcast, and best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And right now, Anchor's going to match you up with some great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. Your podcast, my guy. Make it happen. Just make sure you're doing it on Anchor. Free, easy, and it's the reason why I'm reading you this ad right now. All right, welcome back to the Late Night Lake Show podcast. Last segment, we came to terms with the reality. D39 is here. May we send well wishes to him. May we send positive energy toward him now that he is back in the purple and gold. May Dwight Howard, find that rejuvenation in his career, in his age 34 season. It will be. He's 33 right now, but he'll turn 34 next year. Fun fact, Danny, actually, you know who else turned 34? What other big men turned 34 and switched teams and actually won a championship?
Wasn't that Marc Gasol?
Oh, my God. That would be a great answer. Is Marc Gasol 34?
I think he's 34 or he's 35.
This would be a Stump the Schwab little question right here.
Wow,
check you out, man. Danny with the bonus points. Boom, 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 boom. Anyways, that wasn't my answer. Shaquille O'Neal. When he was traded from the Lakers to the Heat.
He was 30. No, he was not 34.
Let me tell you right
No
now,
way he was 34.
Shaq came out and said, I believe on Monday, was it? Shaq came out and said, it was recently with Nick Schwartz of USA Today when talking about after his comments, taking jokes with Kobe about Dwight, but we'll get into that part later. But later on, when he was clarifying those comments about what his message would be to Dwight Howard, he was just saying, in Miami, I was 34, same as Dwight, on my way out. People thought I was washed up when I left LA, but dug deep down. I said, you know what? I can do this. If he does everything like he's supposed to do, focus, no joking, no playing, just dig deep down and really, really want it, they could possibly win. Right. So Shaq sees a little bit of similarities. I don't know if this is a little bit of trying to mend fences. Not that he cares about mending fences with Dwight Howard, but like taking a step back, somehow throwing Dwight under the bus with him and Kobe's little slander earlier. But Shaq sees similarities right there. So if we can get that result out of a 34-year-old big man that has now switched teams and looking to revitalize his career, rejuvenate should be a better word for Shaq and not Dwight. You know, I'll take that. Once again, Dwight Howard, if you happen to stumble across the Late Night Lake Show podcast and you had heard the episode before this and hearing the episode now, not really going to take back any words, big dog, but hope all the best for you on the Lakers. Anyways, long segue. Back into the time machine, Danny. Let's revisit a couple of things, shall we? We were talking offline, and we were discussing Dwight's time with the Lakers, the first go-round for the 2012-2013 season, the Mike D'Antoni, Kobe Bryant, Achilles year, the Pau Gasol Lakers team, that Steve Nash, this is going to be fun Lakers team. Let's go back to that time, because during that summer, I was probably just as addicted, if not more, about the Lakers, where I was scrolling, checking all the rumors. The blogs were a lot more heavier. I feel like back then as they are now. I think blogs are a little commercialized now, but just like all the D12. Look, you remember Pro Sports Daily? That was like, and I would go into the Lakers forum in Pro Sports Daily. I think they remember the website. And just go through everybody's just blog posts and forum posts about what they thought the Dwight Lakers trade was going to be, and if it was actually going down, and, you know, if it's happening, if it's not. You got to remember, this is also before, or this is after the failed Chris Paul trade too, excuse me. So we're all like, you know, kind of chomping at the motherfucking bit to get another superstar, since it seems like we were in superstar mode. Anyways, the trade, when we look back at it, Danny, the biggest piece in that was Andrew Bynum, right? Andrew Bynum at the time just came off finally his best season with the Lakers, played in 60 games, you know, his third most of his career. You're talking about a guy who averaged, you know, missing 30 games a season before that year, averaged 18.7 points, 11.8 rebounds, almost 2 blocks a game at 1.9. You know, and shot 56% from the field. He was widely regarded as the second best big man in the NBA. He was an all-star that year, actually, in his age 24 season. Danny, you, like most Lakers fans, were big. I forget often about how I was like, how can people get so hooked on these young guys, man? We got to keep trading for stars. I completely had forgot about how much I was hooked on that pick out of high school, Andrew Bynum, right? I thought he was going to be the next great big man for the Lakers, and he showed flashes. But obviously, when it was time to an eject button after his All-Star game and try to trade him for the best big man in the league, it was time. Danny, take me back to what you were looking at with that Dwight Howard trade, Andrew Bynum trade, and your reaction to all that then, and what you thought the future for the Lakers was after that acquisition.
It's funny, man. You take the time machine back to 2012. It was a great year, actually. I love 2012. What an amazing year that was. The USA and all that, the Olympics. But that season before that, 11-12 season, I saw it as it's Kobe and Bynum's team. Gasol was the third option at that point. and there was trade rumors constantly swirling. Where's Powell going? Where's Powell going? So, we get to the second round of the playoffs, lose, and then it's redemption time. You're thinking, okay, Kobe's got the Olympic gold now. We're going to get a superstar. We're going to do this. They're thinking trade rumors. I didn't know what was going to happen. I honestly thought, we might go get a point guard, which we did. We got Steve Nash. And I was like, okay, cool signing. I wish we got him like 4 years earlier, but whatever. And then when we traded for Dwight Howard, instantly in my head, I'm like, why? I was very disappointed. And it drove me insane because this guy was 27 with back surgery.
You were disappointed.
I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. I was super disappointed. 27 with back surgery, hated Stan Van Gundy, was deemed almost uncoachable. And coming out of the Magic, he wanted to leave. He even said it after the second round playoff loss. I believe they lost. Was it to Indiana? I think it was Indiana, and they lost to in the first
Danny,
second round.
Do you remember when Stan Van Gundy was conducting an interview and they were talking about the whole Dwight trade demand saga and how he didn't want to be there?
Yeah.
And then Dwight popped into the interview and put his arm around his shoulder and was like, no, there's nothing wrong, right, Coach?
Yeah, exactly.
We're just
That's what I'm saying.
happy-go-lucky guys. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, he was deemed uncoachable at this point. He was a distraction. He's always giggly. He's always happy. He's never taking anything seriously. Even in those 2009 finals, I could just tell, like, yeah, he's a great athletic freak, but what other moves did he have? What other moves does he have? Like, Bynum was, like, almost at that point polished. He was healthy. He was balling out. I just remember his playoff game versus the Nuggets where he had a triple-double with 10 blocks. Like, this guy was the second-best center. And in my eyes, he was the best center in the West. I mean, he was an all-star starter. And to get rid of him at 24, it was just like Kobe really liked him. He came along, and the team really liked him, even though he had some attitude problems. But Bynum was going to give it to you every single game. I know he didn't listen to Mike Brown. He was shooting threes at practice and doing all that stuff. He did not.
Danny, I'm gonna have to call revisionist history, my brother, on that one. I'm gonna have to stop right at when you said Kobe liked him. I'm going to push back, bruh. Kobe liked him. When he started balling, actually scoring.
Kobe doesn't like any young guys. Let's be real. If you're a young guy, Kobe's going to kick your ass. That's just how it is. But with Bynum, you could tell there was some patience with Kobe because he won back-to-back rings with Bynum, and when Bynum played, he actually worked the offense well, and Bynum knew his role. Once Bynum got into a bigger role, in a bigger position where he needed to score and make moves and do whatever he had to do, I'm saying Kobe was a fan. He dumped the ball down low to Bynum, let Drew do work. He'd always say, I'm going to let Drew do work. And guess what happened? What was the result? Either a bucket or a foul. That's how dominant I felt like he was in stretches. If you double him, he had a good passing ability to kick out. And Kobe was getting his shots. Kobe was going to get his regardless. The fact that he overtook Gasol at one point as a second option, that you can tell there was a better relationship between Kobe and Bynum. Before, obviously, when he was a kid getting punked by Shaq, when Kobe actually tore his ACL, like he landed on his ACL and did all that, there was a bad relation, bad tension. But once he started picking it up, you could tell Kobe grew into it and actually enjoyed his time playing with Bynum. And that's just from what I saw, in my opinion. I don't know their extent of their relationship, obviously, but from when I see it on the court, you could tell there was some good chemistry between the two.
We're in the dog days of summer, so we're going to open up just some weird doors and avenues. We're going to open up the dark kept box that nobody opens up real quick, and we're going to open up the Kobe Bryant trade demand box and that whole saga. Danny, let me take you back, and the only reason why I'm doing this is because it's in regards to Andrew Bynum. Let me take you back to June 19, 2007. Kobe was on camera talking about you got to be bird brains not to trade for Jason Kidd. Andrew Bynum? I'm paraphrasing clearly, but are you kidding me? Kobe said, like, dog, he did not care for Andrew Bynum back then. That was at the time where they were trying to figure out if Andrew Bynum could stay healthy. His rookie year, he had 46 games he appeared in. His sophomore year, he played in all 82, his age 19 year. His age 20 year, he played in 35 games. Kobe was like, dog, I can't rely on him. Get him the hell out. So when you tell me that he liked Kobe, Kobe liked him as much as a grown man who has finally landed his dream job likes his hoopty that he's still driving just because it is financially smart to stay in that hoopty until the wheels fall off, until it's time to go get a Porsche. Kobe said it was time to go upgrade that hoopty for Jason Kidd at the time. Turns out that was probably for the best. Kobe ended up getting 2 more rings, like you said, with, Andrew Bynum on the way. But what I find amazing about all of this, looking back on that year, right? Andrew Bynum comes off the best season of his career as far as points, rebounds, and blocks, but he was right on the trade block right after that. People don't give Mitch Kupchak, and I guess, no, I'm not going to give him credit. Fuck that. I'm not going to say his name. Y'all probably know who I was about to allude to. Fuck that. This is a Lord Pelinka podcast. We don't talk about former regimes. But shout out to Mitch Kupchak. I will give him his nod. He pressed the eject button on Andrew Bynum at the perfect time. Danny, he was traded for Dwight Howard, but as you know, he didn't go to Orlando, ended up in Philadelphia along with Jason Richardson. You want to guess how many games he played for the 76ers if you don't remember?
Yeah, negative games. He played 0.
Yeah, he didn't appear in any game. I was just going through different articles back then, and they were looking back at Andrew Bynum's tenure at the time when the Sixers traded for Andrew Bynum. And I'm reading this from SB Nation, their article, that Bynum was the lightning rod for the entirety of his Sixers career. The growing frustration with his inability to play, it was very, very, very sore subject amongst Philly fans, and didn't get any better after he left. They booed him the entire time. How you get traded and you're regarded as the second best big man in the league, and the team that gets you, zero production out of you. That's crazy, man. That is crazy when I go back and I think about Andrew Bynum, how quickly he fell off and how perfectly, however we want to look back at the Dwight Howard Lakers time, if the Lakers would have sat on Andrew Bynum, Danny, he wouldn't have played for the Lakers the next year.
How
right?
Did you know?
Like,
so?
how the hell
That's
would
the thing,
you?
like, how
What you mean? His knee. This was the summer he was traded, Danny, and he didn't play
what I'm saying,
the following season.
He was checked out mentally. He just didn't want to play. He could have gotten healthy and rehabbed and played. He didn't want to be in Philadelphia. He wanted to be in LA. It was so obvious he wanted to be in LA. He did not want to be anywhere else.
Andrew Bynum said they got a bank everywhere. That's words out of his mouth. He knew he was going to go and sign a bag if he hadn't had, washed away that entire Philadelphia year. If he would have put back-to-back years together, he would have got a max contract, no doubt. And that's why he was so confident saying that, oh, yeah, Lakers trade me. It's whatever. I'm going to go get a bag. Rightfully so. He was 24 at the time when he got traded. He still thought he was going into the prime of his career, and for him to come around and see where he netted out, I don't know. I would probably take what we did trading for Dwight. Obviously, if the Lakers would have known, the Dwight thing would have played out like it was. I think the Lakers kind of did know also, Danny, that Dwight wasn't uber crazy about getting traded to the Lakers. Didn't he want to go to Brooklyn? Didn't Dwight initially?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dwight initially wanted to get traded to Brooklyn. He didn't say I didn't want to go to the Lakers, but if we remember back, we're doing deep cuts now, Lakers fans. You remember these rumor mills where it was, I guess it's not that too deep, but Dwight had, his eyes on Brooklyn at the time. It was like, wait a second, dog. We got Kobe. The hell are you talking about going to Brooklyn for? Right? Jeez, I don't even know if this was like when they had Darren Williams and
they did. They had a stack lineup.
Right, because they were talking about him going to play with Darren Williams. But anyways, he ended up a Laker, and then that tumultuous season played out, and then Dwight in his offseason interview with the Lakers was like, hey, would you consider just, getting rid of Kobe? And that's where everything went to hell in a handbasket between Dwight Howard and Lakers fans. It's crazy to think back on, man, that while the Dwight Howard Part 1 experience with the Lakers was such a shit show, it was, I don't know, you guys can disagree. It was a better decision than to hang on to Andrew Bynum.
I mean, I guess, but like, I just get frustrated thinking that
Danny,
like how
he did
good
nothing
Bynum
the
could
rest
have
of
been.
his career.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he was mentally checked out.
went
It's like
to Cleveland.
It's the Lamar Odom effect. Well, Lamar Odom got traded from the Lakers to the Mavericks. What happened? He spiraled down so hard it was not even funny. I'm telling you, once you leave LA and you're part of a winning culture like that at that time with the Lakers, your whole mentality changes. Your whole MO changes, your whole mantra and everything. Like the attitude it just wasn't good. It was just you feel like you're almost toxic for the other team you play for. And that's what happened to Odom. Odom was sixth man of the year. He was riding high, doing everything. Guess what happened? Shipped him because he heard one trade rumor and he just
Wasn't no
lost
damn
it.
trade rumor. He
No,
was
no,
traded, Danny.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. He did.
He
For
was
Chris Paul.
gone. Him and the
Him and
Gasol were
Gasol.
gone. Yeah.
So it's funny, like this guy's like a veteran. Lamar Odom at the time, a two-time champion, sixth man of the year, veteran. He hears a trade rumor, actually gets traded, comes back to the team, and is mentally checked out. Now imagine if he was like Lonzo Ball and all those guys. Those guys were mentally checked out too. So it happens. When you get into that kind of rut, that's what's going to happen. When you're Andrew Bynum, again, riding high, all-star starter, you put career high in numbers in pretty much every category. Then you're getting shipped, you check out. That's what happens. You mentally check out.
That's a good comp, man. How about that, bro? Like, you look at this, and you got Lamar Odom, Andrew Bynum, kind of both fell the same fate. But I mean, I'm still gonna push back. LO's was 100% mental, and LO dealt with some addiction demons in his life too. So the change of scenery sent him down a spiral into depression and drugs. Andrew Bynum, I feel like basketball was great, but it was great because he was 7 feet tall and really goddamn good. Andrew Bynum didn't have to really make decisions for himself. He went from out of his mother's vagina to 17 years old getting drafted into the NBA. He went from with his parents to with the Lakers. Not a lot of time for you to mentally mature from going inside the house, being from, I think he's from the Philadelphia area, and then going to, I don't know, the bright lights of Hollywood. Lamar Odom, if you read about him and his father and the issues that they've dealt with in the past and his struggles in his family and the things that he's gone through in his life, he was built on shaky ground. He wasn't built on stable foundation. I am of the opinion Andrew Bynum, like Charles Barkley said, was just a motherfucking knucklehead. Lamar Odom,
Yeah,
I felt like was a not
totally
put
agree with
together
you.
person that got kiltered and shifted and went down a spiral path. But anyway,
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you there. And another thing is, it's like I noticed from the stretch of like 08 to 12, anyone who went on the Lakers who was part of the championship squad, when they got out of LA and went to a different team, for example, like Jordan Farmar, his career took a catapult down. Shannon Brown, same thing. He signed a contract with the Suns. Or did he get traded? No, he got traded to the Suns. I'm sorry. What happened? Boom. Spiraled down. Sasha Vujacic leaves. Boom. All the way down. These guys, once they taste a little bit of the winning, once they leave that and they know they're not going to win and they know they don't have some kind of guidance, they're mentally checked out. It happens. It's literally human nature at that point. They don't know what to do for themselves, like you just said. Lamar Odom, I can understand. You know, he grew up in Queens, and then when he got into the NBA, he was paying for 26 people's rent. He was paying everyone's phone bills. He was doing all this stuff. How much pressure do you have when you're Lamar Odom? Exactly, right? When you're Andrew Bynum and you're just a young kid, you're young and dumb at that point. You just don't know what the hell you're doing. So you're mentally checked out. Everyone has a reason, but at the same time, at the end, they just didn't want to play basketball anymore. I feel like they didn't enjoy it. They knew once they leave LA, they're not going to have fun. They're not going to win. They're not going to be successful.
To bring this full circle, put a nice little bow on this conversation. This was fun going down, our early prime of our Lakers fanhood career. I mean, if I would have went and had a conversation with 2012 Ricky and said, listen, it's 2019, right? We're going into the 2019-2020 season. Here's your roster. Dwight Howard's on the Lakers. All right, bet. I'm cool. That means we traded for him and he played out his career and now he's finally in the twilight after one or two Kobe championships and probably just one, right? I want to be realistic, and yeah, everything is good. Like, that's cool. We went through probably a little bit of a drought, but the Lakers bided their time and Dwight stayed patient and he was a team player. And now he's still on the Lakers going into his age 34 season. All right, that makes sense to me. All right. Then someone tells me LeBron's on the team too. I'm like, you goddamn right he is. You motherfucking right, LeBron on the team, man. Of course he is, because we the Lakers. That's how we get down. We go and bring the best player in the league. So you telling me we went from Kobe Dwight championships, and now we're working on LeBron and Dwight finishing out their careers together and going after some championships. All right, that's what I'm talking about. And then you go and you tell me, and you already know, Ricky, you were a senior in high school when this little homie was hooping at his school, in Chicago. You already know about Anthony Davis and how he's going to be a beast. AD was drafted that year that the Lakers traded for Dwight Howard. I knew all about him, as did you, Danny, us being from the Chicago area. And I would have been like, you know what? Drop the fucking mic. How many championships we got right now? What y'all, I'll get ready to throw chairs through a build, Doug. I'd be running, bouncing off the walls. I was in college then, 2012, 2013. I was a sophomore going into my junior year in college down at Illinois State. And I probably would have went and, figured out how to rent a keg. Would have threw a party and said, look, I looked into the future like That's So Raven, and I saw nothing but banners and parades and championships. And Dwight Howard bought in. Want to know why? Because he a motherfucking Laker, and that's what we do. And then somebody told me the cold, harsh reality that Kobe tore his Achilles the year we traded for Dwight. Steve Nash was a horrid trade that we paid for until the 2018 season, that the Lakers not only did not see the playoffs after that year, that they were swept as the 8th seed by the San Antonio Spurs, and Dwight Howard gets himself ejected in the last game, and that's the last time we see him taking off his jersey, passing Mitch Kupchak in the tunnel. You would have told me that, and then that the Lakers would go on to have the worst record in the league in the next 6 years. I think I might have punched that person out of confusion and rage and for fucking with my emotions so much, man. This has been a whirlwind of life coming full circle. And to be honest, 2012, 2013, Ricky probably wouldn't have known how to react to that. But hey, this is where we're at. Danny, who are you starting today, Dwight or JaVale?
JaVale McGee.
And let Dwight Howard come off the bench with Rajon Rondo.
Yes.
And Kyle Kuzma.
Yes.
Oh, man. That sounds really scary. I want, I don't know. I don't think I want that. That doesn't sound too great to me. That sounds like the Lakers looking like rock stars in the first unit. Danny Green, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee catching oops just off of stupid passes, right? And then the second unit comes in, and I get to watch a Rajon Rondo-led unit with Dwight Howard setting flare screens for Kuzma and then setting a ball screen for Rondo and then picking and popping and taking a step back three. I don't like that. I'd rather have Dwight cleaning the glass, taking that, pounding on the block, pause, in regards to protecting Anthony Davis and him not having to bang with some of the bigger bigs in the league. JaVale, yes, he can play center alongside AD, but how much bigger is JaVale McGee than Anthony Davis? Like, he's not. Spoiler alert. I think if we're just keeping it honest, JaVale sounds like, to me, the backup 5, and he will just be an energy guy, spark plug guy, and they're going to try to get Kuzma as many shots as possible. Jared Dudley is going to do, okay things in the lineup, and Rondo is going to try to facilitate all that. All right, I feel better about that, I guess. With Dwight, with LeBron, I think it's a little bit safer that he doesn't decide to start doing stupid shit. I'd rather have LeBron just have the ball for 23 seconds than, Dwight actually doing the isolation from wing extended, and I need to see what his 3-dribble drill looks like. Not ideal. With that, we'll see, right, Danny? We'll see where it nets out. You have JaVale starting. I have Dwight starting. I guess we can hang on to that going into the weekend. So anything else you want to add? Kyle Kuzma is out. Team USA, we know all about that. That actual Team USA looks a little
weak. It's weak. That's it. I'm just all gonna say. It's weak. They're not gonna get gold. They're not gonna get gold. They won't get it.
In the FIBA World Cup, you don't think they're gonna win it all?
I think Serbia has a better chance to get gold than the USA right now.
Wow. I don't even know what type of level of slander that is for it to be like true or not, but that sounds disrespectful that Serbia has a better chance than Team USA. So, okay. I guess we are really just, banking on the Celtics, not living up to their already outrageous expectations. You are not believing in the young god, Jason Tatum, I see.
Yeah. He's like, what, 17?
I don't know, man. He's not a Hall of Famer already?
I don't know. How old is he? He's like 17, right?
No. The way he's talked about, I thought he's been in the league for 10 years and has already an Olympic gold. And, everybody's quick to say when he struggles how, that's that Kobe training in him. Nah, bruh. Kobe put some W's up real quick, too. So, regardless, I got Team USA still taking the gold. Fuck you, man.
They're going to be a silver. I don't think they're going to win gold, dude. I never said that.
Anyways. All right, guys. We're going to send you out into the weekend strong. We're getting closer. Eventually, we'll do a schedule breakdown, Danny. We've nerded out about that. We just need to find time to record that episode. We're going to break down the Lakers schedule. It's probably going to be a little bit more realistic now than when it was with DeMarcus Cousins. Now that it's with Dwight Howard, the previous one probably would have been a little bit invalid because of how much I was excited about Boogie. So we'll take a look at that. Let's try to do that next episode. We have a slew of guests that we need to get onto the show. We're trying to do some cross-show promotion. If you guys have a Lakers podcast, hit me and Danny up, man. We're trying to connect. We're trying to talk to the people, dog. Let's link up. Let's talk the greatest sports franchise in the history of sports franchises. But yeah, I think this is a good episode for the dog days of summer. So for Danny, this is Ricky. So take us out. Peace. Me and my blood bring another zone, yeah.